What up, guys? Welcome back to Cobra's Customs. As you can tell, we have something new sitting in our driveway here. We have a 28-foot fifth wheel travel trailer. It's the Sprinter by Keystone. We got this thing for free, as you can see, and as we continue through, you'll see why it was free. But it's got a good solid frame still. The shell's pretty good. We got some areas we got to tidy up, but we're gonna do a quick walk around and see what we got. As you can see, there's some black tar that came down. Apparently they went to patch part of the roof and they don't know how to control their stuff. I don't know, but got that on. He said he could take it off with some diesel, so we'll give that a shot. We got some, sealant stuff here that's not in its tracking. The toilet's clearly been taken out. It's sitting down here. They say this pump is brand new, but we had to bring a battery just so we could get the lift legs up and down. Door still looks great, nice seal all the way around it still, so that's pretty exciting. We haven't pulled the awning out yet, so I have no idea what that guy's condition is. You can see we're missing part of the plastic to kind of cover the wheels a little bit. We did have to change this wheel out. The old one sitting there, luckily there was a brand new one already sitting inside, along with the one that's on the back, but this guy was inside, so we were able to pump that up, put it on there, get it home. We do have some lug nuts we got to replace. Like this one, you can definitely tell is broken off because it's shorter than the rest. And then this one's got a random lug on it. I don't know what's going on there, but get that taken care of. Missing more plastic, some cosmetics, wires hanging down low. The back doesn't look too bad, although when you're looking at it and concentrate, you can see the left side is a little bit lower than the right. Which first I was like, when I was first looking at it, I thought that was a frame thing, but really it's because this side has gone and kind of detached from everything. And the rubber seal obviously is not sitting up against the slide out because the slide out has been shifted. Not sure what happened to it, but we're gonna look at it for sure. Like I said, this is definitely a project. We're not gonna get this done in a couple weeks type of thing. It's gonna take us quite a few months. But we have this siding piece for the wheel wells on this side, inside, which is awesome. We haven't found the keys yet. They say they're somewhere inside, so we got to look at that. This is gonna all have to be, I don't know, take a utility knife to it and try and clean those up. We'll see. More tar. That's awesome. You can see this side's kind of wavy here. Last night when you're driving, it opened up, so I had to put some quick screws in it just to hold it in place. There's a lot of water rot in the front, or dry rot if you will, in the front, so we're gonna get that taken care of. But I was able to pick up the fifth wheel attachment hitch. This was free, but the rails I had to buy off a guy, but he only charged me 70 bucks, so that was pretty awesome. And then I spent some money at Home Depot getting the pins and everything like that, and then getting the proper connector put in there. So that was awesome that I was able to hook that up real quick. But yeah, we'll go ahead and swing around, go inside. Even though this is just a 1500, it's the mega cab, so it sits on the 2500 chassis. I was impressed, along with the gentleman that was there giving me the trailer. This thing didn't hardly squat at all. Like, she's sitting pretty level for how heavy this trailer is. Pulls pretty good. We're gonna get the transmission service eventually, so that'll be part of it, and fine tune things and make it a little bit stronger. But let's go ahead and hop inside. They did say that this got replaced about 3 years ago, so that's kind of awesome that it's not the factory one. The factory one actually is sitting in this cubby, so worst case scenario, I can pull stuff out of that for parts. But yeah, now we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. It has good parts, it has bad parts. Cabinets are still pretty good. We're gonna have to obviously refinish some of them and get things moved around, pushed around. This is the worst part of it in my opinion, but a lot of it's just garbage that needs to come out. And then this is all open. So this is the top of the slide out. So it was heavily water damaged and they just took it off. But like I was saying, when we saw from the outside, you can see it doesn't sit square inside its opening. So we're gonna have to get that all fixed up, rebolt it to the slide out rails and all that jazz. There's an extension cord under there somewhere. Gonna be looking for a lot more of this so I can cut it and get it to fit in these slots so we have nice insulated trailer. Refrigerator, radio, microwave, range, all still intact. Sink is still here. I haven't tried to do any of the slide out movement yet because I really want to clean up all this before we try and do any of that. But this is where the water leak was at. So as you can see, part of the floor is missing, and then where I'm actually standing right now is kind of soft. So we got to be careful. We're going to be concentrating on getting this board replaced ASAP. Woo! Yeah. So this is where it was leaking. The gentleman started working on it, but didn't get very far, and I can see he didn't take the time to make new cutouts. I don't know how you plan on putting nice finished product on this when you don't have holes through this. So we'll be doing some work on that. Yeah, you can still see there's some dry rot up here. That board is really soft. So we got a lot of work to do. This front portion is where the majority of the damage is at that we're gonna have to work on. You can see the side there also, but can't open the shower door because the frame is kind of sitting crooked. In here you can see kind of sits at an angle, so I'm gonna have to investigate that a little bit more. But yeah, honestly it's pretty awesome. It's you know, plumbing's all still intact. Electrical, he says, still works. When we picked it up, the connection for the trailer didn't want to fit into my 7-pin connector very well because it was all corroded, but we were able to wiggle it eventually and get lights to come on so we could get it home. So the fact that works is pretty awesome, even though I know that's not tied into the rest of the trailer electrical. But our panel box sitting right here, you know, fuses are still there. It looks like we're missing one, but breakers are still intact. That's pretty awesome, and it's all labeled right down here, so we'll be able to work with that and get this thing up and running. Obviously the legs do work because we were able to get it onto the truck without any issue, but I'm really excited. It does have 2 tanks for propane, one on each side, and the other side actually has a tank in it, so that's kind of exciting that we in a sense got a free tank out of it. The storage space is pretty massive in this thing once we get it cleaned out, and this is some roofing paper right here, so that's pretty awesome because I'll probably be able to use that for the awning and completely cover the awning up, or not the awning, sorry, the other slide out up, and won't have to order it. But we'll have to see what the roof looks like as well. Might have to put some on that. As back of our electrical panel, not sure why they took the bus bar out here, but we'll have to look into that more. Like I said, there's the old heating unit right there. So we got the table on the far side. There's a water pump over there. But we got to try and find the keys inside this thing somewhere because that other side just happens to be locked. So, but there's little things like, you know, this guy's broken off. We found that this one was broken yesterday when we were trying to hold this up. So we got little things here and there as well as, you know, the big items, but we're really excited. I want to say the girlfriend's actually more excited than I am, to be honest. This has been one of her dreams to get something like this and be able to travel around, and that's our plan. You know, we want to be able to take the kids somewhere, and having the slide outs was a huge thing. I know it makes the trailer extremely heavier by having slide outs, but being able to open this back space up will really change the feel when we're having to hang out in there for the day or something like that, or even just a few hours. But it does still have the power cord in there and everything like that, so that was kind of awesome. Got that guy. I'm probably going to replace all these plugs. I know I have to do the one for the front of the trailer, but probably do this one too, just to be safe. All the electrical I got to check out. Plumbing's going to be checked out. Yeah, it's quite exciting, honestly. You get this thing for free, and you know, if all the appliances work, that's already a win. You know, I could do framing work and siding and all that stuff, clean it up. That's not a big deal at all. So one thing I am I couldn't tell from the pictures, but you could tell obviously once you get close to the trailer. You know, this still has its siding on it, the membrane, but this does not. So I'm not sure what happened there, but you know, we'll have to order some membrane for that for sure to cover up this whole sidewall. And obviously these trim pieces all have to be taken off so you can run the sidewall over it and then screw them back in. Kind of sucks for when I have to do the windows, but all the glass is intact. That's another awesome thing. All the glass is intact, no cracks or anything like that. So we got a big project ahead of us, but when it's all said and done, it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned. Hope you guys can watch us rebuild this thing. We'll try and take photos and videos when possible.